Yahoo, Google. I think about all the different newspaper programs that you have on there. To be honest, I don't.
Resources.
I like those type of resources because
Okay.
I find more. I see more youth sitting and looking on Facebook on the computer all day, or on their Blackberries or sidekicks.
Right.
Those are the new fads that are going on nowadays. So you really sit there and think about it. So how would you want to see? How would you like to know what's going on in the world? I say you use your phone. I get text messages saying, "Oh, this is going on," and I don't have Twitter myself,
Okay.
but I've gone on Twitter just to see what postings have gone down. Just to see what different people are tweeting about. And sometimes you get things that are that are speaking about positive things that's going on, and then you have other people who are just speaking about nonsense. I tend to, push myself towards the people who are saying something positive because when you
Right.
get two positive things, you get something positive.
Yes.
And other people can look at things differently, once they read something. So I mean, I sit there and I think about just life itself. When you're uninformed about something, how can you really live your life?
Right.
And when you think about life, what do you think of? Do
Okay.
you think about the hardship that you've done or the hardship that other people have done? Or do you think about, well, this rapper just told me he sells drugs on the street.
Right.
And I drink cough syrup in a cup. What does that have to do with your life?
Right.
What does that have to do with you being more positive?
Right.
What is him drinking that drink going to do for you in life?
Right.
And that's what I had to learn actually over through the years, because I'm sorry to say that I didn't start to retain information and start reading books that were going to better me until I got a little older, because I was just so much in the mind of playing basketball, hanging out with my friends,
Okay.
getting money, and being a little pretty boy. Just running
Right.
around with my friends, being at the parties, just being popular. It took me a little while just to see that, what, life isn't all about what the materialistic things are. Because
Right.
when everything's all said and done, what do you really have to say about yourself in life? What I'm going to be able to say is that I have a degree. I'm going to have an MBA law degree as well.
Great.
I'm going to be doing something positive in life, and I'm going to be shaping the youth of the future. And those are different things that come in regards to resources. Just you have to see what other people are doing in the world for you to want to act the same way.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's how I always start things off during the day. Every morning I look at the news, look on my BlackBerry just to see what the news they're talking about. Even if I turn on to my TV channel 12, just the local things that are going on in the neighborhood. But
Right, that's great. That's great. So what you're saying is that, a lot of the young people, being that they're on their cell phones and they're on their Blackberries. I see it. Like me myself, I'll be in a club. Depending on how old the generation is, it's usually the younger generation, anywhere from maybe 30 and down. I'm in the club, doing what I do, promoting stuff. And, people are on their Blackberries, they're checking their Facebook pages. You're in a social setting, a party.
Absolutely.
Why are you on the BlackBerry, or why are you on your phone or whatever? So the thing is that people do spend a lot of time on their phones and communicating. So the thing is that why not browse and look at the latest news, information.
Absolutely.
Gather
I
information.
agree completely, and
Right,
that's what
right.
I tend to do. I do a lot of e-reading off of my BlackBerry.
Okay.
A BlackBerry has so many different resources that you can use for it, different news websites, different. You can put a whole book on your BlackBerry, and you can just read from there. They have the Bible, everything. I'm more of a philosophical individual. I got a B+ in medieval philosophy.
Wow,
So you
that's
think
great.
of people like Socrates, Homer, Plato. I like to hear what they have to say.
Yes.
Just even Nostradamus. His quotes, they are what the future have to hold.
Yes.
And that's what I live my life by. I live my life by philosophy and philosophical teachings of, people in the past. Because the times may have changed, but the actions haven't.
Right.
And that's what I've actually really learned about life.
Right. This is great. Now, I know I have my own views on history.
Okay.
What I wanted to do was I wanted to possibly, how would I say, start a campaign that moves forward in the process of maybe upgrading history. Because me and myself, growing up, every grade that I went in, okay, we were slaves. We worked in someone's homes. We were slaves. We worked in someone's homes. We worked in the fields. But they fail to mention on a longer scale as far as our inventors, people
Absolutely.
that worked alongside of inventors and doctors and all these other people that we know of today that they mention in history. They never really mention the African Americans that played major parts. It's very brief. So
I
what I
agree.
wanted to do is, probably campaign in the near future to possibly upgrade it, because I mean we're in 2010. You know what I mean? So I guess I wouldn't say it would be equivalent to, like, if someone were to say, "Hey, well, why don't we just change the Bible as well?" The school curriculum has been set for X amount of years. I mean, the Bible is still the same, the same documentation. But what happens is it doesn't really, to me, listening to all that stuff, it doesn't really inspire me. It doesn't inspire our kids. So now we have a whole generation that's graduating from high school, and we haven't identified with too much of anything. But everyone else has done these wonderful things. You know what I mean? They discovered all these wonderful lands and,
Lois and
all.
Clark.
Yeah, but realistically, we're kings and queens. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? On the continent of Africa. You know what I mean? A lot of our descendants, we were kings and queens. So the thing is that I want to definitely create a campaign, some sort of, to promote upgrading the history, so that way our young people can feel proud and feel connected. You know what I mean? Because a lot of our young people feel they have nothing to lose. You know what I mean? They don't care. And I ask them, well, why? You know what I mean? They're so disconnected. The culture is so
I
far
agree.
disconnected. And a lot of the other cultures that come here, whether it's Spanish or Caribbean or so on and so on, they're coming directly from their country. So they still have a connection with the culture. Us, we've been here in America, we've adapted other things that are not really a part of our heritage and a part of our culture. So as far as me, I want to definitely promote upgrading the history. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, what do you say on that?
Um, what I really have to say is,
What is your opinions?
what would the world be without black people? I ask myself that every day. What would the world be without Garrett A. Morgan, who patented the stoplight or the gas mask? How would our troops over in Afghanistan, Iraq, and those places, how would they be able to breathe during the natural gases over there? They wouldn't be able to. There would be complete mayhem on traffic streets because Garrett A. Morgan, created that. We wouldn't be able to eat peanut butter without, George Washington Carver. You have to think of things like that. The black man did the first open heart surgery. A lot of people don't know things like that, but
Right.
They acknowledge the fact that, what, Lil Wayne sold 3 million records this week. He's
Right.
amazing. That's not really history.
Right.
That's not real history. The Harlem Renaissance, that's history.
History.
Langston Hughes, I am a black man. I am a bad man. That's history. When you think of things like that, you think of what the world would be without what we have now. And the color of our skin isn't us being punished. The color of our skin is something that you should be proud of. You should be
Yes.
blessed about,
Yes.
because you are different from everyone else.
Yes.
Everybody comes here looking to do something with themselves. We can do whatever we want, but we just choose not to.
Right.
And I feel like if people really sat down and thought about what the people before us have done, then they would really really sit down and say to themselves, like, what, I want to be more. I want to
Right.
be more than this guy that sits at home playing my Xbox all day. I want to be more than